Hey everybody! Today I am going to show you how to navigate BandLab, the real basics of how to make a project and how to upload a track that you already have into it and sort of play around with it. There are a lot of videos out there on YouTube about BandLab and about how to use BandLab. Most of those videos are geared towards mastering, editing the sound, creating loops, all that kind of stuff. If that is your jam, go out and find those videos. For me, because I'm a teacher, most of what I use BandLab for is not writing original stuff, but creating tracks that my students can sing along to. So today we're going to talk about how to do that. The first thing that you're going to do is go on to BandLab and then click this Create button. We're going to get a new project. So from here, you're going to get a pop-up window that gives you all of these options for different tracks. But because right now we're uploading a track, we actually don't care about this. We're going to go ahead and X this out. Let's start by making a project title. So we're going to go ahead and call this Autumn Leaves. So I'm uploading a recording of Autumn Leaves, which is a jazz standard. And I'm uploading a recording of me playing it on the piano. So what we're going to do is we are going to make our browser a little smaller. We're going to find our MP3 over here, and then we're just going to click and drag it over here. And then we can maximize this screen again. You can rename this if you want to, let's just say piano over here. See if it works. Cool, working just fine. So that is great. So from here, we want to make sure that we save. BandLab is weird. You have to save manually for some reason. So let's go ahead and do that. And then from here, if we wanted to add another track, we could do that. We could go over here to add track. Sometimes I will play the melody of a piece and add that as a track. So I could do a virtual instrument, connect that to my keyboard, and then do the melody along with it so my students have that. You can also put in a voice track that you can use to sing along with BandLab Live over Zoom. Anyway, there's a lot of ways to do that. If you add a track and you don't want it anymore, you can go over here and then click Delete Track. You can also change the colors. This is really fun because there's a whole bunch of different colors that you can choose, and I spend way too long deciding which color each track should be. In addition, you can either mute or solo different tracks. So let's say you're using the piano track, and for some reason you wanted to mute it, you would click this M button right here. If we had multiple tracks going at the same time, then you could click this S button, and that's a way of muting all of the other tracks. So if you click S, that means solo, and we're just going to go from there. You can change the volume of the different tracks by moving this decibel meter over here. So if you want to make it louder, you go this way. If you want to make it softer, you go this way. You can also change the pan of which headphone it comes out to. Another thing that you can do with BandLab that is super nifty if you're a teacher is you can change the key of whatever track that you're working in. So in order to do that, you take the track, you double click on it, and then you'll see this thing that says pitch shift. And so for that, we can raise it. Or we can lower it. super, super handy if you have students of different voice parts who feel more comfortable in certain ranges, so you don't have to record a whole new track. You can also change the speed. So if I wanted to make this slower, I could change it to, let's say, 110. And then for this audio stretching thing, you would click adjust here. Importantly, this does not work with MIDI files. So if you make a MIDI file where you create like you're playing the part for your student here, it does not work for that. So we're just going to undo that, make it go back to the original tempo. In order to get someone else to go to your project, to share your project, you have to invite them. So you click this invite button, and then you invite them via their email. You can also do this by copying a link, but I find that if you just copy the link, it usually doesn't work. You have to like copy the link and then also invite them. As you can tell, this audio track is not the best. I think I maybe recorded it on my phone or on my laptop or something like that. So one other special nifty thing that you can do is you can go back into that editor, double click, and then go to this FX effects here. And then this is just a really easy way to add a little bit of like a filter over your sound. So one that I really like to do often is classic chamber. So essentially this is mastering it in different ways, sort of like changing the levels and all that jazz. It's just a predetermined set of priors for that. So let's see what it sounds like with this. All of a sudden, a lot better. If you want, you can change the chamber size. So like right here we have a chamber. Let's go instead to a small hall. Or let's say a church. Or let's say, I've never done this long plate before one. Let's see what that is. So a little less reverb there. So you can change all of these different settings to sort of make it sound like it was recorded in a different space. And then there's a whole bunch of other sort of filters that you can put on all of these things. That's a fun thing to do, but that's totally extra. You don't have to do it. Remember to save when you are done, because again, you have to save manually. If you want to create notes for yourself or your student here, so something like remember to breathe, or why am I blanking on everything I've ever taught in this moment? Use your chest voice, or sit in the sound, or something like that. You can write these notes in so that your student has them for later. Okay, and those are the basics. I find this super, super useful. In a live performance setting, you would be able to communicate with your pianist through eye contact, but because online lessons don't have that element with a pianist if you're using a track, it's really nice to be able to see when the downbeats, when the notes are going to happen, and then you can make adjustments for the student that you have depending on what they need. So that's it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and we'll see you next time.